This is Miss Munira again from Tekka, and today I have a funny story for you this morning. We were supposed to read a story called The Magnificent Girl, and I had my book, I was ready to read it, and when I took off the sleeve, the story ended up being something else. However, this is a magnificent thing because this story actually ended up being one of my favorites as I was growing up. And I'm hoping that it turns into one of your favorites too. The book is actually called Sophia Valdez, Future Prez by Andrea Beatty, illustrated by David Roberts. Sophia was a baby who got things done, helping her family before she turned 1. She and Abuelo went out every week to help elderly friends around Blue Creek River who couldn't get out and about on their own, and with no place to gather, were stuck home alone. Raking the leaves, taking pets for a walk, or just dropping by for a treat and a talk, Sophia Valdez did as much as she could for her family and friends and her whole neighborhood. A dreamer, a doer, a real-life go-getter. Most people like good, but Sophia liked better. Each morning, Abuelo walked Sophie to class. They walked home again along Blue River Pass, making plans, munching cookies, Abuelo and girl, except for that Tuesday when Pup saw the squirrel. With a howl, Pup took off, racing all through the town, over, under, beneath, and around. Sophia scrambled to try to keep up with the hollering man and the bellowing Pup. Up the squirrel ran to the top of a hill made of leftover junk for the local landfill. They reached the tip-top of that mountain of trash, which jiggled and broke with an ear-splitting crash. Down they all tumbled and hit with a thud on a moldy old pumpkin surrounded by mud. "Ouch!" cried Abuelo. He struggled to stand. "A dangerous mess," he said, grasping her hand. The next day, Sophia walked to school solo, but it wasn't the same without her abuelo. "This is not right," declared young Sophia, who glared at Mount Trashmore and got an idea. I'm excited to see what her idea is. The very next morning at past dawn, she planted a sign at the front of the lawn. She stood back and smiled, and Pup gave a bark. "Get rid of Mount Trashmore. Let's build a new park." Each of her neighbors had something to say about benches and fountains and places to play. Meeting spots, gardens, a basket for bees, a rubber duck pond, and a kiosk for cheese. She drew every thought on her map of the park, which was perfectly perfect by a quarter till dark. Do you see her right here taking some notes right there? She drifted to sleep in her soft, cozy bed. Then bam! She woke up when a thought smacked her head. Her heart skipped a beat as she realized each one of her neighbors had said, "Let me know when it's done." They all thought Sophia could build it alone, but how could one girl do so much on her own? The weight of that thought made her tender heart ache as night thunder growled and she laid wide awake. Then dawn brought a storm and the gloomy sky wept, and the heart-sick Sophia finally slept. Abuelo baked cookies when Sophie got up. He gave her a bagful and sneaked one to Pup. He blinked back a tear as he hugged his Sophia. For courage, he whispered, te amo mi vida. Sophia's knees wobbled. She felt weak inside. She looked at his ankle and quite nearly cried. Though she didn't feel brave or courageous at all, Sophia Valdez went to face City Hall. You see Sophia right here? She's walking to City Hall right there. I wonder what she's going to say. The mayor's office sent her to room 401, the Blue Creek River Department of Fun, which sent her down to the Office of Duck Ponds and Cool Things to Do, to the Office of Monkeys, the Department of Cheese, the Division of Fountains and Meeting and Bees, then down to the basement so musty and cramped, where all the town's papers were sorted and stamped. And that's where the clerk said what no one else did. You can't build a new park. You're only a kid. The words smacked Sophia deep down in her heart. Her plan was kiboshed before it could start. What do you think kiboshed means? It means her plan kind of got messed up. I think, said Sophia, I think that law's wrong. But her second grade voice didn't sound very strong. The clerk said, clearly, it cannot be done. Do you have any questions? Sophia said, one. If you were me and I was you and he was your grandpa, what would you do? Well, said the clerk. Then she said nothing at all. She thought and she thought. Then she sent out a call to every employee throughout City Hall. The entire government of Blue River Creek crammed into the office to hear Sophie speak. But her words jumbled up and her cheeks turned bright red as a dozen emotions rushed into her head. Her heart beat so loudly she thought it would crack. The crowd leaned in closer. Sophia leaned back. Then her arm brushed the edge of the old cookie sack. And that was the moment when Sophia first knew. Being brave means doing the thing you must do, though your heart cracks with fear, though you're just in grade 2. She took a deep breath, looked the mayor in the eye, and though her knees wobbled, she held her head high. Sophia started talking. She spelled out her plan and why it all mattered and how it began. And once she got rolling, she had lots to say about meeting spots, monkeys, and places to play, and other ideas for things they could do to help the town elders and other folks too. She had thoughts on the library, thoughts on the zoo, and perhaps a way to combine the two. See all her ideas? All right, cried the mayor. Go start a petition. If the town wants a new park, we'll form a commission. And so young Sophia got right to work, and with some help from her family and Pup and the clerk. Then others joined in, not all, but a few, like Miss Leela Greer and the kids in grade 2. You see all the signs they're all holding to build a new park? There were hearings and surveys and taxes to figure, then bulldozers, cranes, and a blue bigger digger. They all built that park. That's how it got done, with the hard work of, by, and for everyone. But it began with the dream of one person, just one, who laced up a way to help Blue River Creek get a new place to play. Now, every evening till long after dark, the town comes together at Citizens Park. They all hold this truth to be self-evident. Says could grow up to be president. Until then, Sophia, that real-life go-getter, helped Blue River Creek get better and better. The end. So that, now you probably figured out why that is one of my favorite books. And what I want you to do now is go get a piece of paper, and on that piece of paper, make a list of everything you want in a park, and then go ask everyone that you live with what they would want in a park, and then you can use that list, build a large park on your piece of paper, and come up with a name for it. I would love to see what you guys come up with for your park names. You can share it in the comments and share it with your families. And I hope you guys enjoyed this story just as much as I did. The day. I will see you guys soon. Bye.